Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tari Karemba. Thank you so much for tuning in again today, and Happy New Year! Happy New Year, guys. I feel like, actually, I don't even feel like it. It is true. The last time I was on here was for my birthday vlog, and yeah, I took some time off to just like regroup, plan for 2021, and just make sure I could bring you fire content. Okay, of course, as you can see from the title, today is Motivation Monday, cha. And I feel like this is a very special Motivation Monday. Actually, I feel like the whole January series of Motivation Monday is going to be really special, because it's all about, you know, planning and doing for a greater future, child. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about goal setting in 2021. So before we get into it, I'd like you to please click on the subscribe button down below and become a part of this family. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so it is no secret that we just got out of the year that shall never be mentioned, 2020, and yeah, it's a pandemic. Okay, it was just one of those years where, unfortunately, no matter how much you planned, sometimes life just got in the way because it was a pandemic. You know, so much happened last year, from losing jobs to people, you know, getting sick, and all of the nonsense that happened last year that I don't even want to get into. But also, obviously, you know, the pandemic isn't over, so remember to, you know, sanitize, social distance, wear your mask, just take the precautions that you can. Anyway, so obviously with everything that came with last year, it meant that, you know, sort of sticking to our goals was a little bit difficult, and I know that a lot of people have been very apprehensive about setting goals or even just planning for 2021. But I would like to encourage you to just like enter this new year with hope, even if it's just a smidge. Okay, even if it's just a smidge, it's enough. That's all that it takes. So obviously everything happening with the pandemic does make it, or has made it, a little bit difficult to plan for the future for many people, myself included, y'all. So don't worry, like, we're actually just all in this together. So this is just a little bit of encouragement from one person going through it to the next, you know. So first of all, let's talk about setting goals. I like to look at, I guess, okay, I asked myself 3 things, and those 3 things help me to now plan from those 3 things backwards. Let me explain what I mean. So firstly, I ask myself, Tari, where do you want to be in life a year from now? What does your life look like? What are you doing? What do you have? Where are you? Things like that. How do you feel? Okay, what about 5 years from now? And then of course 10 years from now. So today, obviously, I'm just going to give an example of the whole planning for 1 year. But the thing about it is, once I show you how to plan for the 1 year, you can apply it to the 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is that you have going for yourself, because the principle applies. So let's get back to the 1 year example. So obviously now I've asked myself, okay, Tari, where do you see yourself a year from now? Like, what does your life look like, right? So I'm obviously not going to go into detail, child, but I'm going to give a few examples of things that I do want my life to look like a year from now. So one would be 50k subscribers on Instagram, on YouTube, and 50k followers on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all my socials basically, right? The second thing that I can say is maybe paid partnerships, right? I want to be posting paid partnerships every single day on Instagram by the end of this year. Okay, so I know that's quite ridiculous, but yeah, you know, that's just an example. So those are 2 examples that I've given you. So obviously, for me to be able to be at that point a year from now, it's not just going to happen. Now this is where the planning comes into effect. Okay, so now I have to ask myself, okay, Tari, you want to get 50k subbies, followers, everything. What do you have to do now? So obviously now it means I have to look into the steps that I need to take, or the advice that other people who have reached this goal that I want to reach have taken. Okay, so things like, I need to post consistently, I need to post quality content, I need to post valuable information, things like that. Okay, so that's the thing. I need to now look at, what am I posting? Am I being intentional about the brands that I'm trying to target? Am I being intentional about producing good quality? Are my videos useful in any way, shape, or form? So obviously, those are some of the things that I'll look at. So for example, if we take the point of being consistent, what does that mean for me? So now I have to look at it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, because after that it's a yearly basis, which is where I'm trying to be a year from now, right? So I would say that how consistent I'm trying to be in a week also dictates what my day-to-day will look like. So for example, if I'm saying that I want to post on YouTube at least a minimum of 3 times a week, then that means I'm obviously going to decide on days when I film and edit, which means that I'll probably have a schedule that says wake up, work, film, edit, work, for example. But you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm getting at? That I need to now ask myself all of these questions so that I can now plan right from my day-to-day to my weekly, to my monthly, to my yearly. That's how it works. So that's what I'm saying when I say you need to ask yourself where you want to be a year from now, because that is going to help you dictate what you're going to be doing on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, and even a daily basis. And honestly, it's as simple as that, you know. So what I will say though is, in all of your planning and all of that, obviously the sky's the limit. Don't stand in your own way, don't dream small, whatever, dream big. But I would like you to also be smart about the goals that you're setting, because you know there's no point in me saying, okay, yeah, I want 1 million subscribers by the end of this year, because it's like, how batong, how? I mean, obviously it's doable, but then if I'm being realistic, I'm more likely to get to 50k or even 100k by the end of this year than I am 1 million. So that's what I'm saying. Set goals that are easily attainable, or at least even if it's going to require work, it's attainable. It's not something that's like, how? Because you don't want to get to the end of the year, feel like, oh, I didn't even, manage to achieve any goals, so I don't want to do this again. Yeah, so the point is for you to not be put off completely, okay? The other thing is, of course, to take into account the the environment we're living in right now, i.e. you can't say you want to travel to every single planet. You can't say you want to travel to every single country in the world this year, given the fact that we do still have COVID restrictions. And the simple, example that there are still countries that are not letting any people travel there unless you're a returning resident is proof that even if you put it like on your goals list, you're not going to achieve it. That's because of things beyond your control. So that's what I'm saying. These are the types of things that I want you to keep in mind whenever you are setting goals, that of course you should reach for the stars and want the best for yourself, but at the same time be mindful of all these other external factors that may contribute to whether you achieve these goals or not. The other thing that I'd like you to also just be mindful of is when you are setting your goals, don't have that attitude that says, oh, I can't achieve this because I don't have the money, or I can't achieve this because I don't live in country X or whatever. Stop saying I can't do this because I don't have, okay? I would like you to rather shift your perspective and say, okay, cool, I want to achieve this, but I don't have the money. How do I get the money? What legitimate way can I make the money? Do I monetize a skill that I have? Do I learn a skill? Do I, whatever? What are you gonna do? So obviously it's easier said than done, but my whole point with that whole example is just don't be someone who's just going to give up on your dream or something you want to do because or whatever it is, because there's always going to be something, but you now need to figure out, okay, fine, how can I solve that problem? How can I solve this obstacle that is in front of me? That is the attitude that you need to have. And of course, the last thing that I will say is that in order for you to actually achieve your goals, I think it's very important for you to either write them down or make a vision board or, whatever it is, but it has to be somewhere. You can't just be in your head, okay, yeah, I want to achieve X, Y, and Z this year and just keep it in your head. You need to write it down. Okay, you need to write it down or type it out or make a vision board, Pinterest board, whatever. So yeah, it is absolutely important for you to write down or list down or at least have it somewhere, preferably somewhere tangible where you can at least look at it or see it often or be able to revisit it, so that you can make sure that you are still remembering what it is you said you want to do. Because sometimes it's very easy for you to get what it is you want to achieve or what it is you want to do because you didn't write it down. Okay, I mean, if people need a to-do list in their day-to-day lives, what more to actually achieve their goals? So yeah, I think that is very important. And in the remaining videos of January, I'm going to be showing you different ways in which you can actually write down or just have your goals somewhere tangible. Okay, so the different things we're going to go through are, of course, having a vision board. I think that vision boards are really cool. Last year I had a vision board for the first time, and I actually achieved some things, so I'm pretty hyped about showing you guys how to make a vision board. Another way you can do it is, of course, to write yourself a letter. That will be your future self writing to your current self. I don't know if I'm making sense, but basically 2022 Tari writing to 2021 Tari, saying this is what my life looks like, this is what we're doing, blah blah blah. That is another great way for you to actually plan. Another thing, of course, is to write it down. A simple list. There's nothing wrong with writing things down, or even if you're someone who prefers to be, doing things on your phone or, typing it out, then you can also do that. Whether you decide to print it or not is up to you, but at least it's there somewhere. And of course, the last one is to actually have a Pinterest board where you put all of these things together. So that is what we're going to be doing in the remaining videos, so that we can make sure that by the time this month ends, child, we have been equipped with, obviously the goals that we've planned, but also how to plan and also have courage to execute the goal, so that we can finish 2021 on a high note as far as things that are within our control. Because obviously last year taught us that sometimes life happens and sometimes things are beyond your control, but that doesn't mean that you will not be able to achieve the things that you set out to achieve. Okay, so thank you very much for tuning into today's video. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe.